Hey, did your favorite character unfortunately get killed on your favorite show? Well, hang on one sec, that might not be as permanent as you think.
Ladies, gentlemen, geeks of all ages, you are now entering BJ Shea's Geek Nation. Welcome.
Hey guys, Chris Walker here, Walk Like a Flan with BJ Shea's Geek Nation, back again with another episode of On the Couch with Chris. You might notice a little bit of extra wobbliness happening today. Well, that's because my tripod is elsewhere.
Selfie stick!
I do have this awesome selfie stick. Check it out. Whoa! One of the things that I saw on the internet recently is that they're thinking about bringing back the Roseanne TV show, Rev.
All right, yeah, that's pretty cool. I love that show in the 90s.
Right?
Yeah.
The thing about that, though, is they've managed to get most of the cast back on board with it, and Roseanne Barr is going to be back in there.
Okay.
You know, they're talking to Sarah Chalke and Johnny Galecki, since they are on other shows or doing other important things. But most of the rest of the cast is on board, including John Goodman. You remember?
I remember the last season being really weird, and then at the end of it announcing that Dan had actually died of a heart attack at the beginning of that season. Like everything else was like a weird fever dream or something like that.
Precisely. John Goodman's character Dan died at the end of the season, at the end of the series. So that got me thinking about death and TV and movies and things like that, and how sometimes it's not nearly as permanent as you think it's going to be.
And this also brings up the topic of the fact that Roseanne said that John Goodman is in on it, but also that she has already figured out how to bring him back.
Yeah.
Or maybe he never died, maybe he faked his death. And there's a lot of that in television.
So when I started poking around on the internet, I found this website that I'd never really spent much time on called tvtropes.com.
Okay.
And they discuss these kinds of things, you know, Deus Ex Machina, you know, overused ideas that have been on TV and movies for like forever. They talked a lot about what happens on a TV show when a character dies, and some of the ways that you can sort of predict whether or not the death is going to be especially permanent, or how likely it will be that a certain character or type will get killed off. And it reminded me, we spent a lot of time on the main show talking about, like on The Walking Dead or on other shows like this, characters that have what we call plot armor.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
they just seem unkillable. Like no matter what's going on in the episode or in whatever story arc, you're pretty sure...
Rick Carl.
You're pretty sure neither one of them is going to get killed because they can't. It's the Rick and Carl show. There's a really cool algorithm at tvtropes.com. You should check out. It kind of runs down the likelihood that someone will get killed across the top and the type of character they are in the columns. And then you can sort of cross-reference and figure it out. So like if it's a young kid, highly unlikely. Main character, highly unlikely. Villain, probable but not certain. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
Red shirt, highly likely. Almost a guarantee, right? Exactly.
Saying.
And it was really, really interesting to me because this is something I don't think a lot about. I read a lot of comics, I watch a lot of TV shows and movies. People come back from the dead regularly. Like some of it has even become a joke. It happens so often. No, we were talking about it on the way in this morning. Gotham.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit difficult to get invested in any death on Gotham that involves somebody like the Penguin or the Riddler or whomever. You know that they're still around later on when Batman is Batman, and he's still just baby Bruce Wayne right now.
The real interesting part about that also is that they've decided to kind of throw that out the window with the last couple of seasons having the Indian Hill plot device. Well, sure, they could actually still be dead, and we're just going to bring them back from, I mean, it's even a joke inside of the show. That is one of those ones that makes it really, really hard. But one of the other things I thought about was the fact that if you look back at comic books, if there isn't a body or they're not like vaporized by something, then there's at least a door for them to come back to.
TVTropes.com has a thing for that as well. Like, how did they die? What were the circumstances? Did they manage to get in any famous last words? Then that lets them calculate the likelihood that that person is going to come back at that point. It's great, guys. If you haven't been to TVTropes.com, I highly recommend it. It's entertaining, and it's a fun internet rabbit hole to go down that really just honestly ate up so much of my time the other day that I barely got here to do this thing with you guys today. But let me know down below, what are some of your favorite TV tropes, or if there's a specific character that you thought should have stayed dead or maybe needed to come back and you were surprised that they didn't, anything like that. Let's get a conversation going about people coming back from the dead on TV and movies and things like that. And well, Rev, what do we say until next time?
Stay nerdy.
Special effects, special guests appear and disappear. It's a miracle! Oh!